In this project, you'll get some practice using math operations. In particular, I want you to use the integer division and modulus operations, because a lot of students ask, when would I ever use those? And we're going to create an application where we're going to take inches and convert to feet and inches, and you'll find that integer division and modulus are a really handy way to do that. It can be done without, by doing some division and subtraction and so forth, but this is where integer division and modulus shines. Remember that there is a little gotcha, though, in working with floating point values with integer division, and I'll talk about that in a minute. So our assignment is to create an application where the user enters a number of inches and it's converted to the number of feet and inches. And then conversely, we'll go the other way. They enter feet and inches and get the total inches. That second operation does not utilize integer division or modulus. It uses multiplication and addition. So here's our process. We're going to create our GUI interface. We're going to code the two buttons. Now here's that important tip on using integer division with floating point values. Remember, I mentioned in one of the previous videos that there's this little gotcha with integer division in Visual Basic. Where using a floating point value, it rounds those values to integers. And so if I put in 23.75 inches, I can get an erroneous result here of 23.75 inches is 2 feet and 11.75 inches. Obviously that's incorrect. So the way we get around that is we want to truncate the inches within the integer division operation, and we can use the math.truncate to do that. So you'll see the code here that I provided you where feet equals math.truncate inches divided by 12. Then we get the correct result of 1 foot and 11.75 inches. I provide some data for you in terms of testing. Make sure you thoroughly test. Certainly make sure you test that 23.75. And then when you're going the other way, notice I have one here that's input of 8 feet but a negative 3.25 inches. And that's sort of a scenario where if I have an 8-foot board and I want to cut off 3 1/4 inches, how long is that board? It should tell me that's 92.75 inches. Well, let's take a look at this project running. I'm running the application in debug mode from Visual Studio. I've entered 103.5 inches and I click the convert to feet and inches, and I get 103.5 inches equals 8 feet and 7.5 inches. Look at that little gotcha we had before. If I do 23.5 and click the convert button, I'm getting 23.5 inches equals 1 feet. Not grammatically correct, but mathematically it is, and 11.5 inches. Going the other way, 7 feet, 4.25 inches is 88.25 total inches. If I say my board is 8 foot long and I want to cut off 3.75 inches, I can find out how long that board now is with that short cut of it. So it equals 92.25 inches. I'm going to suggest that you pause the video here, try this on your own, and if you struggle, come back and watch my code review or compare your solution to mine, which follows. For the interface of the application, I created a form that was 550 by 550, gave it a text of inches to feet and inches, so it appears on the title bar. I have some labels here that just say inches to feet and inches, and Visual Basic demonstration of integer division and modulus operations. This image you can get from our course site, or you can also download it from my public Google Drive folder. I created a text box called txt total inches, a button of btn convert feet inches, another text box of txt feet and txt inches, and a button of btn convert to total inches. Everything else are labels. Now the image can be put in a picture box or in a label. I actually made a version of this that's 550 by 550 and used it as my background image of the form. Either way will work. Okay, let's look at the code for these two buttons. So here's the one to convert the inches to feet and inches. So I'm doing inches and remaining inches as double. I'm doing feet as an integer. And then inches equals CDBL and we take the text property of our txt total inches. So we're converting that to a double value. Feet then equals, and here's where we want to take care of that little gotcha so it doesn't round a floating point value up and give us an erroneous result. So feet equals math.truncate inches. I'm going to drop off any decimal portion of that value, and then we're doing integer division of 12. That will return an integer, and that's the number of feet. I then need to find out how many remaining inches. And here we can just use inches mod 12. The mod, again, does not do any rounding, so we'll get an accurate result there on the inches mod 12. And then I simply show those in a message box. For our other button, to convert from feet and inches to total inches, I'm going to dim inches and total inches and feet all as double. Feet equals cdbl, txt feet.text. And I did that just in case I would put in 2.5 feet. Normally that's probably going to be an integer value, but just in case, we'll convert it to a double. Inches, we're going to convert txt inches.text to inches. And then total inches will equal feet times 12 plus inches. And again, showing that in a message box using string interpolation. That's my code review. If you just jumped into this video, you can see all the videos from the Programming Practicum playlist by clicking on the image in the lower right. And if you'd like to be alerted to future videos I create, you can click my picture in the top right to subscribe to the channel.